Sayyida, Nanda by Katherine Blessan. An impish gust of wind swirled the dust in eddies around the yard before drifting down around Sayyida's feet. Sayyida lifted her head and gazed at the leaves dancing overhead, hearing the tinkly laughter of tiny fairies fluttering above her. She shifted the dust grits in her mouth and licked her lips in a vain attempt to remove the dust from her tongue. "Quit your daydreaming, young lady," a cracked voice called out, splitting the atmosphere and jerking Sayyida into action. She had only stopped her work for a minute or two to look up at the trees, but Auntie didn't miss a trick. She lifted the broomstick and began sweeping it, back and forth, moving the ever-increasing dust into piles. Once again, a gust of wind swept in and the piles of dust dispersed like children being set free at the end of the school day. Auntie Jaswinda bustled out of the house in a flurry of sari and jingling gold bangles and gave Sayyida's cheek a resounding slap. Her face stung with the double effect of clinking metal and unforgiving palm. "That's for your hopeless work. If you can't improve your work in the next half an hour, you'll be on your knees scrubbing the floor until I can see my face shine in it. Don't expect to eat your lunch until you're finished." Of course, the more Sayyida swept dust into piles in the yard, the more the wind whipped the dust up and around. Her arms ached with the thankless effort. 30 minutes later, she felt a sharp yank on her ears. "No good. Inside," was all Auntie said, before handing her a heavy brush and a bucket of water and pulling her inside the hut. "What do I want to waste my time with you here for? I could be living the good life in Lahore if it wasn't for you," Jaswinda complained as Sayyida squatted down to scrub and scrub and scrub the stone floor. In one corner, around the next corner, in a circular motion here, backwards and forwards there. A sharp pain extended from one shoulder to the other and spiked down her spine. She gritted her teeth and blocked out the buzzing of Auntie's repeated grumbles. Her stomach was twisted with hunger. But it was 3 o'clock before Auntie granted her the freedom to sit down and handed her a bowl of rice, some dal curry and a chapati. Too tired to talk, she scooped up the food with her hands as quickly as she could without giving herself indigestion. Sayyida lost track of time and followed the passage of the days between sunrise and sunset by daydreaming and counting the number of slaps she received. If she got less than 3 slaps, it was a good day. Auntie Jaswinda told her that she had been in Pakistan for 3 years now. In good time, life was going to become better for her, as she was to be married to Bopper, Auntie's oldest son. It didn't seem to matter that she was only 10 and Bopper was 22 years old. He worked as a bus driver, ferrying teeming busloads of girls and boys to school, from the villages to the nearby town and back again. Sayyida didn't have much to do with Bopper, as he didn't talk to her, just grunted at her and withdrew to the back room when he came in most days. But recently he had taken to looking at her in a way that made her shiver. She knew what marriage was, as her parents had been married in England before Dad slipped away onto the passing train that took him in the direction of the land of Oz. That's what she told herself anyway. But she didn't really know what marriage would involve. No one had told her anything. Even at school back in England, there had only been hints and silly talk from the naughty popular girls, but nothing concrete. All Sayyida knew was that she was too young to be getting married. Her parents and all her friends' parents had been a lot older than she was now. Her head ached with the puzzle of trying to work it all out. All Auntie Jaswinda could say was, "You'll get used to it." And Sayyida didn't ask her any more, scared of receiving further slaps. Auntie had started calling her the mouse, as she was so quiet now. The only talking she did was in her head, and the only words she used were the ones she whispered to her little friends who lived inside her head, up in the trees or under her bed.